Hello everyone, and thank you so much for coming back to my channel. My name is Dion and this is Life with D. Maria Beauty. Today I just finished this makeup look. I wanted something with blue, like a blue smoky eye. I have accents of purple on the outer eye, the outer corners, and I like the way it turned out. I hope that you do too. If you're interested in seeing how I came up with this look, do me a favor, stay tuned, keep on watching. This damn fly. Where is the raid? I got to get him. So, today I wanted to do an aquamarine colored eye look. And I'm going to start here by filling in my eyebrows. My eyebrows have become really sparse right on the tail end over the years. And so I am elongating the tail end and filling in my brows. And I'm using this is a Morphe eyebrow pencil. I think it's in the shade Granite. It's not chocolate, because chocolate, sometimes I'll use that for this section, the very front part of my eyebrow, but chocolate seems not to show up very well on my complexion. So this is the darkest shade for the Morphe eyebrow pencil. So we're coming to a point now. I'm always marking my brows really prominent. It looks real crazy right now since it's the first thing I'm starting with, but it will be tapered down as I proceed. So right now I'm going to carve out my brows, and this is a concealer. Anastasia Beverly Hills used to make this concealer in a pot. They do not anymore. But I love this concealer, and so I was able to snatch a few of them from eBay a couple of years ago, and I still love to use it. I'm thinking it's probably similar to Born This Way Too Faced concealer that comes in a similar little jar, but I have not tried that one yet. So I don't know its consistency or how it holds up or anything. But anyway, I do like to have a nice structured brow. And so I'm just kind of, this is the part where I really look like a clown. It looks like I'm creating a unibrow, but trust the process. Bear with me. It's going to look much nicer at the end. So I'm just chiseling out my brow shape here. And trying to pay close attention to symmetry. Keeping things as even as I can. And the reason I connect in the middle is to make sure that the brows are aligned, that there's not one brow higher than the other one. And I just go back and forth. Oftentimes on the top of the brow, you will see people use, and now I'm starting to blend the concealer in. You'll see people use on the top of the brow like a darker concealer shade, and oftentimes I'll do that, but today I just kept with the same shade, knowing that once I put on my foundation, I won't have this halo brow effect. But I'm taking this brush, I believe this is a Real Techniques concealer brush, And now I'm adding that same concealer to the top of my lids, preparing for the eyeshadow. So I'm just thinning down. Right now I'm putting on Sasha Buttercup setting powder. Just a very, very, very thin layer to kind of set that concealer in place. And this is a Juvia's Place eyeshadow palette, the Coffee Shop. That's the shade I'm going to use as my transition color. So I'm just tapping that in. Tapping that shade right above the crease. And then I'll start blending it. So tapping the eyeshadow on first and then blend with the circular or windshield wiper motion. And now here comes this blue color. This is an eyeshadow by MAC. Right now the name escapes me, but I'll be sure to put it in the description box. But it's also actually the same exact color inside of the Juvia's Place Wahala eyeshadow palette. So I'm just tapping that on back and forth until I get the color saturation that I'm looking for. Blue-green look is what I was going for. So I'm just making sure to cover all the areas on the lid, even where there might be creasing attempting to occur. I'm just making sure to pat that shade in. Here's the Wahala palette here. And there is a purple shade that I'm using from that palette just for the outer corners. So I'm just building the saturation of that color, bringing it a bit into the crease, just so it can look continuous. And I'm just building up that shade. Now I have the Tattoo eyeliner by KVD. And the blackest color. I love this. I love the brush tip. To me, it's very easy to control. And I love the fact that this is a matte black eyeliner. So I'm just getting this wing together on both sides. Now I'm adding mascara, which is what I always do before applying my faux lashes. And this is L'Oreal mascara in Voluminous. The shade is Carbon Black. I noticed that I needed to step up the saturation of that purple shade. So I'm going back in to add more. And just admiring this colorful look. Now, in the Wahala palette, in the Juvia's Place Coffee Shop palette, there is a cream colored shade, and this is what I'm adding in the inner corners. And it's actually because I'm putting it kind of on top of that blue. It's turning a light blue, which I didn't mind at all. This moisturizer by IT Cosmetics is what I'm using just to hydrate my skin, preparing for the foundation, which is coming soon. But first I'll be adding this primer by e.l.f. So I always like to add primer because it allows my foundation to go on smooth and to really cling to the skin. I am using Estée Lauder foundation, Estée Lauder Double Wear, that is. I forget which shade this is. I think it's Rich Cocoa. I love to stipple my foundation with a dense, tightly packed brush like this Kabuki brush. And normally you would only stipple, but because I have some texture to my face, some moles, I want to make sure I get all the coverage that I can. So sometimes I will kind of sweep it, drag it across. And definitely doing it here above the brows. To try to help tone down some of that yellow. This right here is so that I could make the brows not look so square in the center. But yep, I love this foundation. I love the coverage. Next, I'm going in with concealer. This is Born This Way Too Faced in the shade Butterscotch, I do believe. Yes. And now I'm just blending that concealer in with a damp sponge. This sponge is by L'Oreal. I love it because honestly, it lasts a really nice long time. All the faces that you have to make in order to get this into the different areas of the skin. So I'm still just blending all that and blending the outer edges of the concealer. Now I'm going in with Black Opal contour stick in the shade Espresso. And for this part, I'm going to use a brush to blend it in. Chiseling in a jawline. And just blending the forehead area. Bringing some color right there near the hairline. And of course, creating myself some cheekbones here since I have none. This is my favorite brush for this process. I think it's a Langer Nickel brush. I've had it for many years. I can't recall where I got it from. I believe it was Target. This here is a pattern brush by a company called Beauty Shop. I love this brush for getting into those small areas. So now I'm patting back the concealer down the center. I'm using my foundation brush to blend where the concealer and the contour stick shade come together. Getting rid of those lines of demarcation. And now I'm just bringing back a little bit of definition to my brows that I've lost in the process. Here I wanted to chisel a little more below the contour. And so I'm using a Real Techniques brush here in order to blend. And then I'll go back over it with a sponge coming up shortly. But I really wanted to chisel out my cheekbones here. So now I'm blending just to kind of soften things. Don't want those lines to be too harsh. Going back under the eyes to make sure to move away any of the, what's the word? I can't think. Now I added, okay, there's a fly. That's when the fly entered the room. So I'm tapping in. This is warm sand. So the first one must have been Butterscotch. Giving myself a little bit more highlight under the eye. And using this brush to get into those tight areas and make sure there's no creasing. And then I go back through with a sponge just for additional blending. And now I'm going to press in the Sasha Buttercup setting powder. This is used both for highlighting and setting those areas where I've placed concealer so that those areas won't crease. Now I'm taking my powder brush and just removing any excess powder, that is. And here I'm adding color to the perimeter of my face by placing my compact powder, which I use the Lancôme. And now I'm applying blush to the very high points of my cheekbone. So I smiled to create the apples of the cheeks, but I put more around the eye than I do the actual apple. A little on the nose. This is the MAC pencil in the shade Cork. Cork or Chestnut. I can't recall which one. And I'm using Black Opal concealer. It comes in a bullet like this. I love to use this as a nude lipstick shade. So I'm blending the lip liner and this concealer And then this is by Dose of Colors. And it is a pretty lip gloss. And I love the shade this creates. So that's a beautiful nude lip that I love to rock when I'm doing a very bold eye look. Using a beige pencil here for my lower lid. And it just gives the eye a nice open effect. I don't like to use dark things for my lower lid because it seems to have the effect of kind of causing my lower lids to appear like they're sagging. So I always use something bright here. Putting mascara, of course, on the lower lashes. And now I'm just checking to make sure things are symmetrical. Liking the look. I'm going to set my face coming up next. So this is the Morphe Setting Mist spray. And it just melts all your makeup together. It takes away that cakey appearance. And this is the finished look. I hope you all like it. I love this glowy look.